you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight on this Jewel Zoom. I'm just looking through, oh my goodness, look at all the people. This is so awesome. Woohoo! Sweet. Okay, so I want to remind you that this is a Zoom, and so we can see you. So don't do anything that you're going to regret, in 5 minutes from now. Just make sure that you remember that as we're doing that thing, it's easy to get listening and then be like, oh, I think I'm gonna put my jammies on. So keep that in mind. So what is the purpose of these Zooms? Well, we want to connect with you. We want you to know that you matter, you are important, and we see you. We see what is going on with your teams. And in seeing what's going on with your teams, we have each come up with a topic that is important and hopefully beneficial and helpful for you as you are learning and growing. So I hope you have a pen and paper out tonight and you are ready to take notes and jot down the things that catch your attention and that could really be today and like. So you can imagine someone being at your rank in the company and they kind of have two choices. Well, they really have three. They could not work the business at all, or they could work the business sort of, or they could really go gangbusters and do this, right? So when I'm thinking of a passive worker, a passive ambassador, I am thinking of someone who kind of expects it to happen to them. They expect that since they are silver now, that they just wait long enough and maybe do a little bit of minimal work and in a while, however long it might take, sure they're going to end up being gold. Work and senior to how it happened for us, that we just turned a rank and then we did a little bit of work, sort of maybe waited for some time to pass, and all of a sudden, alakazam, we're a different rank. And I would consider that a very passive mindset. And what I would say about that is it ain't true. That isn't how it works. You might get to silver that way just by, not doing very much. You might get halfway to gold. But what we can see when we look at the teams is there are a lot of people sitting like between 30 and 70 points. And they've been sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. And we know that you want more. I mean, if you're sitting there, why would you not want to go to 100 and get to gold, right? That seems like to be an obvious thing. But why are so many people stuck in sitting? And I really believe part of it is the mindset of passivity. You just are passive about it, and you're hoping that it will happen in time. What I'm here to tell you tonight, mindset. You have to be taking charge, doing the work, and keeping your eyes on the same points for the past 5-6 months. What are you going to do to make a difference? Well, how about if you start having some coffee dates with people? How about if you do a lunch? How about if you get people in 3-way messages? How about if you message 30 people this week, getting them prepared for the Black Friday special that will probably be coming? And if it doesn't come, you know what? You can make your own Black Friday special. We need to be preparing people now so that when the time to harvest comes, we're ready to harvest. We have put in the time, we've done the work, we've made connections, we've become friends with people. Rachel was just saying in a video I watched her in today how she just got a new customer today because she had been building a relationship with that person. And when the right time came, she realized it was the right time and she asked for the decision. That's what we are doing now. We are being active. We are being smart. We are looking forward with a goal and we are doing something about it. We're not going to keep twiddling our thumbs and sitting at 50 points. We want you to move forward. If that's what you want, we want that for you. And it is not going to happen with a passive mindset. I want to read some quotes to you and some ideas that I think are super important on this topic. And then I'm going to write, what you choose about your attitude matters. Do people see someone in you who is vibrant, who they want to be a part of your life, that you are attracting people to you by what you post on Facebook? Or are you posting that you are sick, that you're so tired, that life kind of stinks sometimes? Think about who you're attracting if you're posting that. You're attracting sick people, okay? Your attitude controls the atmosphere. Your plan B is to be better. Simple as that. That's your plan B. When you get lunk, which isn't true, but it's in your mind, when you get that way, it's when you think this is about you. You have all the training that you need right now. You have so much available to you on YouTube. Are you putting it into practice and doing it? Or are you just watching videos and counting that as good enough? Watch, learn, and do. That is what is going to change the direction of your team, not being passive and sitting back and waiting for it to happen. All right? That's what I have. So, Miss Monica, you're in there somewhere.
I'm here. Hey, everyone. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I decided that what I wanted to talk about tonight was managing life as a mom and as a Plexus ambassador. You have to share with you. So, but before I really get into it, I have to be real with you. Today, and actually this past week, has actually been a hard week for me as far as balancing both family and my business. And I'll be honest, today was one of those days where I felt like I can't do it. I'm sure that if you've been in this for a while, you've probably had some days like that. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, okay. Girls, 1 for 7 and 10. So I've been in this for 3.5 years now. So I have done this business with every age child, basically up to 10, from new on up. And so I have been in a lot of phases through that time, phases where it was harder than others. There's certain times, and if you're a mom, you understand that we go in and out of phases quite often with kids, where there's certain times when it's like every day you have no time during the day to do anything, and you have to fit everything in at night or in the morning or during nap time, whatever. So we have to adjust to those too, because I think he can feed lies to us, right? He can feed lies telling us that we can't do this. And that still happens to me, like it was happening to me even today. And I had to remind myself that that is not the voice I want to listen to. And that if God has given me a dream, okay, and he has given me, he's called me to do something, he's going to give me what I need to do it. And I don't know if you guys listened, last week, Sonia Dudley was on Rock the Pink, and it was an amazing, amazing training call. And one of the things she talked about was if God gave you a dream in your heart that you think about all the time and you are passionate about, He is not going to give you the tools that you need to make it happen, because He's just not the type of God that would do that, would give you a dream and not give you what you need to fulfill it. So if you find yourself thinking that often, thinking, oh, I can't manage it all, I can't do this, I can't be a good mom and be a business woman, you need to rethink that. You need to stop that stinking mind has equipped you ways to all I need to do this. So obviously what you're doing this Plexus business for a reason. You have a why. And more than likely, if you have kids, your kids are part of your why. Maybe it's just that you want to be home with them more. Maybe you work a full-time job, or maybe it's that you want your husband home with your kids more, or maybe you want to be able to go on vacations with your kids. Like most that have kids, their why involves them, right? So you have to make sure that you are making your kids your reason to work rather than your excuse not to work. And there's a fine line there. It's really easy to fall on the side of using them as an excuse. So my kids were really crabby today, I couldn't get anything done, or they kept me hopping all day, so now I'm too tired, it's late, I've just got to go to bed. It's really easy to use them as an excuse, but really they should be our reason for pushing forward and doing what's necessary to be successful. So I just have a few ideas for you guys that I think are pretty practical, ideas in how you can make sure that you are doing both as well as you can. So first of all, I want you to make sure that you're seeing yourself as a businesswoman. I think this is a really big one, because for those who are stay-at-home moms, it's really easy for us to fall into this mentality of I'm just a stay-at-home mom, even as you're trying to work this business. And maybe you roll out of bed and you do your work in your pajamas and you never actually shower. And don't get me wrong, you are not telling me that if you are, if you're going for a dual status, you are a businesswoman and you need to see yourself as such and project yourself that way. So get up in the morning, take a shower, feel human, do what you need to feel human and not just be, the frumpy mom sitting on the couch. Hopefully that makes sense. So just see yourself, respect yourself, and what's expected to happen, or that time to just come upon you. It might be that you need to get up extra early in the morning if your kids allow that. Obviously, if you have a newborn and they're getting up every 2 hours, that's not going to work for you. But if that doesn't work, then maybe it's staying up late at night and staying up an extra hour. Or maybe when your husband comes home, it's he plays with the kids for a half hour after dinner while you do focused IPA time. Or maybe it's nap time. Whatever it is, if you have older kids also, don't feel like it's wrong for you to find something for them to do while you take 20 or 30 minutes to do some work. That's one trap I find a lot of moms falling into, where they feel guilty. They allow themselves to feel guilty when they are focused on their work for a period of time during the day, rather than focused on for us to be, catering to our kids' wants and needs 24/7. Obviously, we need to make sure that they're taken care of, and you don't want to be on the phone all day long or doing your work all day long, but don't feel guilty if you have them set up with something to do work during that time. If you think of the Proverbs 31 woman, if you read that chapter, I don't think you're going to pick up on her being someone that's catering to her kids all day long. I mean, she's busy, she's working, right? So make sure that you're not buying that lie either, that, you know, I need to be focused on my kids 100%. So, scheduling that work time, and when you are doing that work time, be focused 100% on it. But then also make sure that you're scheduling in time during your day to be 100% present with your kids, where you are setting you're not like just your balance, if in general, by doing that, by being 100% focused with them. So also be willing to make some sacrifices, and that might be TV time. What you want will be the sacrifice. So keep that in mind. If you're not willing to sacrifice anything, you're going to end up not reaching your goals. Also, include your kids in your business. I remember one time I talked with Angie Thompson. She's a Diamond ambassador. She was actually in Indiana when I went to do a meeting with Casey, actually. Anyway, I chatted with her afterwards, and that was one of the things that really stuck with me that she shared with me, is that every time she had a rank up, she used that rank up bonus to do something with her family. And they would make that plan before her rank up. Okay, when I reach senior gold, what are we going to do with that money? And so doing things like that can help them to be more excited about your business, and really understand more of why you're doing it. Maybe it means making a dream board with your kids and letting them your business. When I went Senior Ruby, we went to Wisconsin Dells for a night to celebrate. And it just really helps them to be more excited about what you're doing, and helps them to understand and be more accepting of the fact. Lastly, I just want to, you cannot do it all, and that's totally 100% okay. I think that's a big thing with moms, is we want to do it all, right? We want to do it all, and we want to do it all perfect. Realize that that's not going to happen, and that's 100% okay. You're never going to have that perfect balance. There's no such thing as perfect balance, really, towards work, and the next day is going to be more towards your kids. As long as everything like overall balances out in the long term, you're doing great. Your house is going to be messy sometimes, and that's all right. Especially if you're working hard and you want to reach jewel status. I mean, with your husband about it, obviously, your kids, ask them to help pitch in a little bit, because you can't do it all. But at the same time, it's okay if you're throwing some frozen meals in a couple nights a week instead of making homemade everything. And it's okay if your laundry is piling up. Just do your best and focus on the small wins. Focus on what you did at the end of the day, not on what you didn't get done. And that's really going to help you overall to feel better about what you're doing, and feel more accomplished too. So that is what I had to share with you all. And next up, we have Wendy hopping in.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Ruthie. I think you guys did really great.
I think.
You guys, my internet is a little bit unstable. So if I cut off or anything, just raise a hand and I'll stop what I'm saying. So, well, that wouldn't work because you all are frozen on my screen anyway. So never mind. Okay, you guys, there was something that Monica said that jumped out at me. Number one, she did say that balance is not perfection. And I think a lot of people in this industry are really looking for some level of balance. And if they think if they have it balanced, then they've got it good. There's no such thing as balance. I'm sorry. If you want to aspire to go somewhere in this business, you have to be okay with unbalance sometimes. I've learned to go with the flow, and if you're not okay with it, dude, have you ever heard of this great probiotic called Vital Biome? It really makes you calm, cool, and collected. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is about your obstacles can become either your aspirations or they become your roadblocks. And you need to determine what your obstacles are in your business and why you're not growing. Are you going to look at them and have them inspire you, to grow your team? Or are they going to be your roadblock where you just stop your business? Because when you stop, everybody else stops in your downline. I wanted to read something to you that I found, which was really inspiring. So Rachel, Ruthie, Monica, and I we really are trying to wrap our heads around what we can do to help our teams grow. And what I just read is this: your will has got to be greater than your skill. Meaning, you can't sit here and try to learn everything, read everything, personal grow everything, know everything about the back office, know everything about the ingredients or the products, know everything about how to sign up a new ambassador. Sometimes you just have to do. And I'm one of those people who's super not afraid to do things. And I will tell you, I'll fail a gazillion times over. Because I'm not afraid to do it. And I'll take you guys with me, and we might fall into this big pit, but I promise I'll help us climb back out. And I don't want you guys to get stuck on your obstacles. I don't want you guys to think that you have to have all these perfect skills and all this amazing training in order for you to go anywhere. That's on you. You are in charge of your own business. It's not anybody else's business but your own. Your upline is not your success line. Your success line is your downline. So if you want to be successful, concentrate on your success line, not what your upline is or isn't doing for you. It's not their job to make sure you're successful. But yet here we are trying to give you some tips, some ideas. We gave the Ruby some really good ideas, some good benchmarks to get going that can maybe create some momentum. But really what it comes down to is your work ethic. I mean, it's hard work. Some of you don't want to work that hard. That's fine. Then don't do it. But don't pretend to be where you are and wish you were somewhere else when you don't even have any effort or you're not even leading or doing anything with anybody. Like, don't do it. Move on. It's okay. But give yourself permission. You have to ask yourself this very question. And your mind is going to go to two different places. And in those two different places, you have to decide, am I going to go this way or this way? And the question is this: am I sure I really want to do this? Am I sure? Because your mind is going to think of all the reasons why you don't, and it's going to think of all the reasons why you do. That, my friend, is going to be your scale on if this is going to make you or break you or take you somewhere. So there you go. I'm going to just keep it short and sweet and say, let's do something. So, all right, Rach, take her away, my friend.
Well, I wish you had more, because I was like really getting into that.
Oh, you are?
So, yeah. Oh, such good nuggets, you guys. And, you know, I've said this in the past. Lots of you know my story. Crazy, ridiculous schedule. I kind of still have that. But I agree with Wendy. We need to just find our work ethic and, like, do it. And honestly, you guys, that's a skill that's missing in our society today. If we have teenagers and we've taught them how to dust, how to vacuum, how to clean a bathroom and a kitchen, they can walk into almost any business establishment and get a job nowadays because nobody knows how to do anything. And here we are in this beautiful place where we have provided so many skills for you to learn. You can't hardly turn around without finding a YouTube video on how to improve your knowledge of the products, your knowledge of the business, how to work the back office. There are videos everywhere. And that's how we as Jules launched our businesses. Sonia Dudley helped me learn all I could ever know about an opportunity meeting. And I listened to her with my earbuds in the car, back and forth to basketball tournaments that first winter that I did Plexus. And I know Ruthie, Monica, Wendy, we were all online scouring because there were no tools. There was really pretty back office. The catalogs were kind of pitiful. Like there was nothing. And then I think about like Coach Cuevos and Sheila Medina, who were like Xeroxing probably with one of those crank machines, these pieces of paper with some stuff on it and a phone number at the bottom. Like the pink drink, it didn't look like this. It was a plain old white wrapper. Can you imagine trying to sell that to somebody? Just a plain old white wrapper. Didn't even have a name. So here we are wanting to motivate you, wanting to encourage you. I hope that you don't walk away from this going, geez, I've really sucked. And yeah, I better quit. Wendy's right. I probably better quit. Heck no, because if you walk away from this opportunity, it ain't smart. This doesn't exist anywhere else, you guys. And if you think the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, if you water your own grass, it grows. And I think that that is something that we can do. If you know that you don't get Vital Biome, and when Wendy cracked that joke about it, you weren't even sure what she meant, then get on YouTube and find a video about Vital Biome and learn about it. And you'll be so excited, you're going to want to tell everybody. If you don't read books and you're not developing yourself, then would you please go order? I have 2 books to tell you to get. One of you. It's a very different personal growth and development book. And it's given me aha moments that I had no idea before why someone might have been struggling, why someone felt stuck. That book opened a box of treasure for me to help people who say, I'm stuck, I don't get it, I can't grow. That book is really good. And the other one, I'm going to say a naughty word, it's called Get Over Your Damn Self. And I just got to tell you, get over yourself, because you can do it. And you can lead a team, and that doesn't mean you have to be Kristen and Lori and Amber and Wendy to be amazing. You just got to be you, because God gave you a skill set that I don't possess. God gave you a strength and a dream that nobody else has. And if you waste it, shame on you. But if you decide to take that treasure that He gave you and multiply it, by learning more, by being more, by doing more, and just by working, what pride He will have in you to say, well done, about your Plexus business. Because the proof's in the pudding. And if we feel stuck and we feel like we can't move forward, and we start growing ourselves, we start learning, we start working every day, doing IPA 5 days a week, guys. If you got a half an hour a day, I barely had a half an hour a day when I started this. You know what I did during my free half hour? Plexus. I gave up Seinfeld, my favorite show in the world, for a whole year to work my Plexus business. That was my lifeline at the end of the day. I recorded Seinfeld. I watched it for an hour after school, and it made me happy. I gave it up to do Plexus. I stopped knitting. I stopped watching TV, so stopped going to the movies. I sacrificed with my shareholders. My family was on board with that to get where we needed to be. And it doesn't take hours and hours and hours and hours a day if you're working smart. So just find one skill that you need to improve this week and next week and work on it. And praise yourself. Cheer yourself on. Tell your upline, you know what? I get Vital Biome now. I studied it. I read about it. I'm so excited to share about it. We'll cheer with you. But if you just stay where you're at and you stay trapped and beaten down and stuck, we can't give you anything to succeed if you won't grab it for yourself. So that's it, you guys. We want to see you succeed. We know that you've got it in you to do that, but it's really up to you. That's it.
Awesome.
I'm done, Wendy.
Love it.
I was trying to think if there was anything I wanted to end on with that. And I'm like, nope, Rachel wrapped it up again. Very good. Very good. So you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the unrecord button, and we're going to upload this, and you guys can share it with your teams if you like. But I think it really just comes down to is just believing that you can do it. If there's no reason why you can't, the only reason why you haven't is maybe because you aren't. And you can. This opportunity is for everybody, but doesn't mean everybody's going to take it. So, all right, you guys, I love you. Thank you for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving. Let's concentrate on gratefulness.